This is something entirely unique to the Jewish people. If we look around today, the world today, or if we look, search throughout history, if we look for another nation that commemorates events that took place 1900 years ago, 2500 years ago, or even longer ago, such as the Exodus, Yetziat Mitzrayim, which took place nearly 3,500 years ago. If you search for another people that has such an amazing historical memory, is unable and unwilling to let go of these memories, of these founding and seminal events in the creation of our nation, of this nation, of any nation. If you can find another group of people who behave in such a way, who, because of something that they once had, they fast an entire day and night and mourn and yearn for that thing 2,000 years later, something which they passed down, this yearning, these ideas, these seminal events and the significance of those events, and that these events and these notions and these aspirations are the essential core of our being, both as individuals and as a nation. If you can find another group of people, another nation that is in any way similar, that is capable of such a feat, that behaves in such a way, I, for one, would be happy to hear about it. And therefore, on Tisha B'Av, one of the things that I dwell upon, one of the thoughts that keeps racing around in my mind, is the fact that I have the incredible privilege of belonging to such a unique nation, a nation that made a covenant with Hashem, the Creator, thousands of years ago, is unwilling and unable to forget and to relinquish that covenant. And all aspects of that covenant, particularly the most central features of that covenant and that way of life and that normative form of Jewish national existence that is described in the Torah, and that we, in the past, for perhaps even only a brief period, but for a time, we were able to achieve that kind of reality with the building of the first Mikdash, the first temple in Yerushalayim, 3,000 years ago. When I reflect on the fact that I am part of such a nation, that I am one more link in such a chain of people who are able to drop everything one day a year and focus on that which is missing, and that which is yet to be done, and that which is incumbent upon us to do, not because I think that Hashem has to take care of all these things for us. I know that we have to take care of these things, but I also know that if we had not successfully maintained this historical memory, and if this reality of yearning for ideas and realities and institutions that we have not had for so long, if we were not successful in transmitting these ideas, these yearnings, over spans of thousands of years, then we wouldn't be here today, and we would have nothing to discuss, and we wouldn't have all that tremendous and on the one hand daunting, on the other hand uplifting tasks and endeavors that we must take upon ourselves. So even if we feel, as I know some people do feel, that the Mikdash is far away, and some people claim that we don't understand why even we have to fast, because really, if the Jewish people were able to organize themselves correctly, and if we had our heads screwed on correctly, so to speak, then we could have had all these things in place a long time ago. The Mikdash could be standing on Har HaBayit and we wouldn't have to fast. And that is also correct. And I can very much relate to that claim. But precisely because we have not been able, as yet, to get our act together, to put our house in order, and to create the momentum, the understanding, to take the yearning and the history and the memories and the traditions and form them and channel them into an unstoppable force that will change the flow of history and will bring about the inevitable, inexorable result. It is precisely because we have not succeeded in so doing as yet that we must continue to fast. And at the same time, we can feel and must feel very privileged and special to belong to such an incredible nation as our own.